Right, so we're having to record this again, unfortunately, because the file corrupted or something, which obviously isn't ideal, but that's okay. Sorry about that, Ray. But um, clearly something's gone wrong here, but hopefully it works this time. So we're into a buy, sell, hold. I'm not going to click on the PowerPoint because that may have been why it um, corrupted last time. So we're just going to do it from the actual screen um, that it starts on instead of going on a slideshow. So should we start where we did last time with Brighton defence? Have you got?
I think there's been a lot of noise around sort of Brighton going into this game, hasn't there? And I think this is definitely the fixture Brighton are the target. I think
Absolutely.
I've never played this stuff, but I think there's a relegation battle for them. But yeah, I was just looking into some data before we jumped onto this, and I think everyone knows statistically Brighton are brilliant defensively, but I didn't realise they're actually third for expected goals conceded
Yeah,
this season.
it's mental.
Yeah,
And against a pretty toothless Newcastle team.
exactly. Yeah, although I did see pictures of Callum Wilson back in training.
I saw that as well, but I did look that up because I was thinking if you had a free hit, maybe a Callum Wilson in there. But actually, he's just literally started running on grass again. He's not team training or anything.
I think Brighton definitely invest in them. I think I'm looking to actually get Lewis Duncan.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realise that he is second for non-penalty XG of all defenders this season as well. So
yeah,
I think Veltman's come in and he's done a brilliant job. But like you said to me before, was it when Dan Burn got injured, he went to left side.
Exactly. Yeah. So if it's a toss of the coin between two centre backs, then Dunk's definitely the one that you'd like.
I just think his goal threat's brilliant. And Newcastle, I mean, you see it on the eye test, right? They're so poor from set pieces.
Exactly, especially when they play a four at the back, which Newcastle have been doing a lot recently because Fabian Schär, I think, has been like he's a long-term injury. So
the data backs up as well. They're second.
Exactly. Yeah. I wonder who's top. Is it Leeds?
Yeah, I should have noted that down.
No, I don't know. No, I'm not sure. Look, I know that Leeds are poor on set pieces, but yeah, not sure. Maybe.
Brighton is a good investment, and I think obviously I've just spoken about the defence there, but I do think the likes of Trossard and Gross are decent.
Yeah.
Well. I actually was a bit mad. I tweeted a few weeks ago considering Mopay.
Yeah, I wonder who's on pens actually for Brighton because Mopay I know missed one against Liverpool early on in the season, and yeah,
he thinks it is still Gross. So he didn't miss one.
Yeah, he hit the bar with the first one, and then Welbeck missed the second one. Yeah, I have no clue to be honest. Let Lewis Dunk take the just take, if like he takes a quick free kick, he could take a quick penalty while the goalie's not looking. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So we're saying Dunk ahead of Veltman if you've got the money, but Veltman is still, should at least be a clean sheet option. Yeah. And obviously Sanchez if you need a goalkeeper. Let's move on to the West Ham boys. They're obviously playing against Arsenal, so not ideal for you if you wanted to bring any into your team. But Lingard has 44 points in 6 games this season for West Ham.
That is mental. And Bailly is the side. I think great option this week. I think sort of tactically, just the way Lingard plays and he picks up really dangerous positions with the ball and pockets, which I'm guessing will be behind the likes of Xhaka. I think he'll really cause some damage.
I agree. Yeah. I've got him. Yep. I was one of the few that brought him in last week, and then everyone on Twitter was at me saying he can't play. He's playing Man U. Yes, I knew that. I'm not an Iheanacho bot. I was bringing him in for this game week, and actually just because I think West Ham are quite good. Exactly. Yeah. Very different. Yeah. Yeah. absolutely. And then they've got a brilliant run in. I think I'm looking at getting either a double up on the goalie and a defender, or maybe even a defender and Antonio, and like game week 34 or 35 or something. They've got a brilliant run in. But yeah, Cresswell on top of that, as you say, fixture proof, like 10 clean sheets. That's very good. Just to get the 4 bonuses, that's 40 points alone. But he's also got 7 assists.
His set piece deliveries are amazing.
Yeah.
He's the highest scoring defender in FPL, isn't he?
I think that's right. Yeah. So considering you just need to, their defense has been so good, and then the fact that you've got some absolute beasts in the box like Souček and Dawson, you know, you can hit anyone. You can play a short corner and then whip it back in, or like free kicks or anything like.
I think they're really good teams to invest in. Yeah, I specifically like the Lingard pick a lot. Obviously, hope he does fuck all this week.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. On to Leeds. If you haven't got Rafinha already, we'd strongly advise you to bring him in. For the price at 5.6 mil, he's an absolute steal. So maybe you've got like a Gundogan or something who hasn't got a game this week and hasn't got a game in 33, and like playing Leicester, maybe not the best fixtures. If you're looking to move him on, or someone else, maybe even like a Salah, just to keep loads of money in the bank, then Rafinha for this week against Fulham, and then next week again, or like after the international break against Sheffield.
I think it's more against that Sheffield United fixture, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Fulham are pretty good defensively. Like, we don't need to talk stats as well documented. But
Yeah.
That Rafinha, I think he's one of those players. Any game, I think he's magician. To be honest, I'm quite disappointed not having more from him. He's been so close. That I forgot what that game was. I think it was against Wolves. They just put on ball after ball on a plate for Cooper, and I was just
yeah. Yeah, I actually had him captained in that double game week. Most people captained Bamford, and I was one of the few that went for Rafinha, and actually he got like he got a few more points than Bamford over the course of the 2 games, but it could have been a haul, really. He's one of those players that's definitely got a haul in him soon, and let's hope it's either against Fulham or Sheffield, or actually both of them would take. Yeah, so if you haven't got him, he's very cheap, and he's got 2 good game weeks coming up, and then he does have 3 poor fixtures in a row. He's got Liverpool, City, and Man United. But if you're in a situation like yourself, with a wild card in 31, after the Sheffield game, you can just get him out, or he can easily just sit. He could just sit on your bench as a first option, because everyone's got a load of team value at the moment, and no, apart from like, I don't know, Kane and Bruno, you're not many people have got a lot of premium options. Maybe people getting KDB back in now, but like, yeah, team value and price, like, it's not. Yeah, people shouldn't worry too much about having a lot of cash on their bench every other game week. Moving on to Spurs. Heung-min Son. He's probably going to be out, according to Mourinho, at least. But yeah, we're looking at Bale and Lucas. Eye test wise, Bale seems to be the people's option. But I just have a feeling about Lucas that without Son, without Lamella, Bergwijn, whatever, I don't know how you say it, Bergwijn, he has looked like really like 5th choice winger recently, or whatever. He's really fallen down the pecking order, considering that he started as the season as like the number 2 to Son. Yeah, Lucas just looks like the guy to get for me.
Yeah, I do like him, especially with Lamella suspended. Like I said, Bergwijn just very good.
Yeah.
Recent, but I think he's a decent player, but he's not that great.
Yeah.
For me, I'm probably looking. I know you've got him coming later, but I'm looking to probably shift Spiller onto Bale.
Yeah.
I just think Bale. Obviously, it's dependent on. I know we say there's a lot dependent on Europa minutes tomorrow.
Exactly.
I just think he is a beast. I think Lucas is a really tidy footballer and sort of quite nice around the box. But
yeah.
Bale just looking at, I know it's a small sample size because Bale has been playing a lot less, but his non-penalty XG and expected assists
Yeah,
90.
absolutely.
It's 0.63, but Kane, for context, he's 0.71.
Yeah.
So, like, it's ridiculous. I just
Yeah.
think backing him to score against Aston Villa was a bit leaky recently, and then straight after that they got Newcastle.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's the only reason I'm holding on to Son, because it's that international break and then Son coming through. I mean, anyone could take a -4 and back Bale or back Mora, but yeah, I mean, my preference would be Mora out of the two, but you know, it's the toss of a coin, to be fair.
No, I like it. It's different.
Yeah,
I'm very much going to be going for Bale, I think.
Yeah.
I'm prepared for when Lucas scores and see how that goes.
Exactly. Moving on to your boys, we've got Ødegaard, who is definitely one that I'm looking into, and Aubameyang. I could get either in for Sterling, but I'm leaning towards Ødegaard at the moment, just because of his recent form. He's got 2 goals in the last 2 games. He's had a consistent run of starts, and yeah, I just think that him in that sort of like number 10 role is really like he stepped up the last 2 games.
No, I do like it. Again, it's a bit different. I think most people are at that value with Arsenal going Saka, aren't
Yeah.
they? And, I mean, to be honest, that's probably the way I would lean. It's 1.4% owned, right? So
Yeah.
if you get him in and he goes off, I think you'll fly up the ranks. But I think even what I've noticed, like, again, don't have stats to back it up, but just on the eye, I think when he first joined us and he was sort of into the team, he's a very tidy footballer, but recently he's been getting into the box. He's getting on the end of, you'll be glad to hear this, Tierney's crosses.
Yeah.
And I just think, assuming he does start this weekend, then everything goes to plan tomorrow against Olympiacos. So I do like that shout.
Yeah.
Like I said, Saka would be my personal preference.
Yeah, there's only 0.6 million between them, so it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Most of our play, I think, well, not most of our play, I think a lot of our play does go through Ødegaard, but Saka's in the box quite a lot.
Yeah, Saka's definitely the more proven, and definitely the, you know, in terms of starts and game time. Obviously.
Yeah, I really like it as a shout. I think
Yeah.
1.4% owned. If it goes wrong, you can try and fix it.
Yeah, exactly. There's someone like a Jota who's only like 0.7 mil more than Ødegaard. You know, you can easily move that on. But yeah, the fixtures that Arsenal have coming up, and just a punt, I feel that, you know, I think that's true. Yeah, I'm looking, like, if Ødegaard plays well and Tierney, you know, doesn't get injured or something due to workload, then I'm happy to hold them all the way to the final game week.
And are you recommending people with
It's a tough one, isn't it? Obviously he's got a point to prove. Left out for probably like the biggest game of the season, due to being late for the bus. But, you know, I did actually see something on Twitter where someone was videoing him in traffic in his Lamborghini or whatever it is. But quite ironic.
I do think he'll come straight back into the team forward.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah, it's all in the past now. You got to get him back in. The quality that he has. We spoke about it a bit before. You're anticipating he comes back in up top for Lacazette instead of on the left, like he did earlier in the season. Yeah, I think that he's been at his best, like in his recent form, playing up top. So
I think the only caution on that, though, is straight after. Obviously, we've got a nice run in, which is fine for the likes of Ødegaard, Saka at the value, but Burnham's a bit more expensive.
exactly, it's like,
Liverpool straight after.
yeah, it's like, do you want to start him against Liverpool? Would you bench him? Like 11.4 on the bench is like, you know, that's unheard of. So yeah, that's sort of why I'm leaning towards Ødegaard, so I can bench him in game weeks and not feel like, oh my god, I'm benching a really valuable premium player. I think that's probably why. Moving on, we've spoken a bit about Saka and Son, but yeah, we confirmed, Arteta confirmed that Saka is fine and everyone's going to be involved in the squad for tomorrow night. So obviously we just have to monitor like who plays what. If anyone gets a knock, or if anyone plays really well, plays poorly. But yeah, Saka and will be involved tomorrow night, we assume, in some capacity. And Heung-min Son definitely is not playing tomorrow night. But
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
yeah,
It's very deja vu.
I've fallen for this. We've discussed this before. I've fallen for this in the past. When Son was, what was he, like 25% on the Premier League app, and Mourinho said, yeah, he's definitely not going to play, he might be out for a month. I took him out for a -4, and that weekend he scored 24 points, and that really that proved me wrong. So I mean, I'm not taking Son out, but
I think it's an easy hold. I think,
yeah,
to be honest, I don't think he'll play against Aston Villa.
I don't think he will either. But
And then straight after that, you really
yeah,
Son just before Newcastle.
exactly. Yeah, I'm not taking a -4 just to get him out, because as soon as he's back in, and he plays 90 minutes every game. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. And then the final one on this hold list is Patrick Bamford. Bielsa said that we think that he will play on Friday. So we also had news that Rodrigo, his striker competition, took a knock in training either today or yesterday. So with two strikers that have both taken knocks, if it's a toss of a coin, Bamford's definitely starting, isn't he?
I think, that makes it so much easier as well, because I've been planning for this for a while, and we've got 8 players at the moment and 3 transfers, so it's one of those headaches to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think we can rely on Bamford. Moving on to the sell, just put Sterling up here. He's definitely going for me, whether that be for Odegaard or Saka or Aubameyang.
Screens that is going to come back. Images that precede unfortunate events, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Sterling.
Yeah, the most expensive player in the game, and one of the other most expensive players in the game. But yeah, just looking at the stats, Sterling hasn't scored since 25, and Salah hasn't scored since 24. So, I mean, looking at the form, the fact that Sterling's missed out in a few matchday squads and he didn't play, he didn't start against Mönchengladbach in the Champions League yesterday. So,
I just think at that price, you don't want that worry, do you? I think
exactly.
the defenders are fine at that.
Yeah, like if you've got a Stones at 5 mil or 5.2 or whatever he's gone up to, like you're happy to like take the punt that he's going to play 75%, 80% of the matches. But with someone like an 11.5 million pound player, you can't be having him benched every 2 games or 3 games.
If they don't play this week and then they don't play again
in 33.
30,
Yeah.
isn't it? So
yeah, and they've got a reasonably tough fixture in 30 against Leicester, which is away from home as well. So yeah, if Pep's looking at those fixtures, he's probably looking at playing Sterling in the FA Cup on current form, and then going back to maybe like a Phil Foden or something in the Leicester game.
Just think, moving him on for anyone, the fixture this week is worth it.
Absolutely, yeah. And then the same for Salah, really. No game this week, and then Arsenal in 30. So it's not ideal fixtures, and again, the form just says otherwise.
I'm so nervous about selling him. I think, like you said, everything is pointing towards selling him. And I mean, I'm definitely going ahead with it.
Yeah.
I want Bale, and I think Bale will. He's got sort of Aston Villa and Newcastle.
Yeah, you'd have to expect him to get 2 more points in those 2 games until your second wild card in 31.
Exactly. Although Salah does like a goal against Arsenal.
Yeah, it would be unfortunate, wouldn't it, as an Arsenal fan, if Salah scores and you lose. That would be a nightmare. I think, yeah, you've got to move them on. Other Manchester City players as well, potentially, if you have them, and you're not wanting them in 33, and you're not wanting them in 30, and you're not wanting them in 29. I think, like, if you've got a lot of value in City, then potentially moving them on. I've moved on Cancelo already, so
you moved early on that one.
I moved very early on that one, actually, before Cancelo's price went up. But yeah, I just decided to move on Kieran Tierney because how well he played at the weekend. So, and also in the Europa League, he played really well. So, yeah, he was always on my watch list.
Really like it.
Yeah.
I've said this about basically everyone tonight, but
Yeah.
be 100% on 31 wild card as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
absolutely.
this side, I think Salah Sterling finds itself. And,
Pretty
if
easy
you want to get
sells, I
them,
think.
get them back.
Yeah. Moving on to a caution. 50k is it? 50k.
It is, yeah.
50k bots have brought in Iheanacho.
Predict 5 of them
Yeah. Sorry if you're listening, guys. I don't know. As I was saying earlier, it doesn't actually say like game week 29 no fixture on the app. So if you went onto the transfer screen and you just clicked to take someone out, it makes out that he's playing against Manchester City as his next game in upcoming fixtures. But obviously, if you didn't pay much attention to that, then you realise that it's actually game week 29, not game week 30. But 31 wildcard, absolutely. His fixtures from there are so in 32 West Brom home, 33 Palace home, 34 Saints away, and 35 Newcastle at home. So if you haven't got the money for a Vardy, and we're not sure obviously about Madison and Barnes at the moment, but if neither of them are back, then oh, if Madison and Barnes are back, then you assume that they go back to their like 4-5-1 sort of formation with Barnes on the left and Madison in the middle with Ndidi and Tillemans. So definitely one to keep an eye on for his price. But yeah, well, we'd strongly advise against it this week because he will blank. Captaincy options. I think we're pretty set on Harry Kane. Yeah.
Obviously, Spurs didn't look great against Arsenal, but you look at who they played before that and the opposition, they're quite not to bracket Aston Villa and the likes of Burnley, Palace. Recently, Villa haven't been great.
No. There's been a tail off on their form without Grealish, 100%. Yeah, and another one that we don't like to talk about ownership too much. Like you should take your punt and not really look at what everyone's doing around you, but you've got to assume that Kane's going to have over 100% ownership at nearly every rank. Yeah. One of the highest in the season. Yeah.
It's that one where I know Aubameyang's a premium, but there's so much uncertainty around him. I just think Kane's the standout premium this week.
I agree. Yeah, because even if you're targeting the fixtures like Newcastle at home, that's the best fixture. But are you really going to put your captain on maybe like Lewis Dunk? I guess like if he gets a clean sheet and a couple of bonus points, but it's just a risk, isn't it? Yeah. And then so if you're really chasing rank and you don't want to go with the mainstream, we've both had a look at Rafinha.
Yeah, I think my advice is actually on Son, so I need to change that. But
yeah. Fulham are decent, but I don't know. Leeds, they're just going to keep on sticking to their guns and playing attacking football, aren't they? Absolutely. Yeah. If you're looking at Leeds, I think we're both saying that if you're looking at Leeds, you'd go Rafinha over Bamford just because, if Bamford's not 100% fit, he might get a rest at some point in the game if they're either losing a lot or winning a lot. And obviously, Rafinha gets the extra point for a goal, and it's much easier for him to pick up bonus points.
Yeah, I just think that is like you said, if you're trying to be really different, but I think Kane this is not the week to overthink it.
No, I think set and forget with Harry Kane and your captaincy. So hopefully, everyone gets a green arrow this week. I don't know. We'll come back at some point. We've obviously got the international break coming up, but yeah, we'll absolutely do a review at some point, and then we'll carry on for the rest of the season. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for coming on, Ray. Been brilliant. So hope you guys enjoyed. Cheers, guys.